Growing up, there was never a time where I didn't feel loved. My mom and dad did everything they could to make sure that my brother and I knew that it was unconditional. But through their divorce, I internalized that it was something that I could work for, I could try harder. The better I did, maybe the more that they would love each other, or one day they would love each other. I took that with me all through elementary school, high school. I was out to prove something. I got the message that the harder I worked, the more love I got. It was always enough until high school. I got my first boyfriend, and I loved him what I thought was unconditionally, and it was the first time that it wasn't enough, and it was the first time I couldn't get it right. So in college, I showed up out to prove something, and I was seeking something that I didn't know what I was pursuing, but I just knew that I wasn't enough. So I ended up finding a friendship that turned into someone that I loved. I ended up getting a job in fitness, and I was trying to juggle everything. 5 years later, I graduated college. That boyfriend then also found someone else who reiterated that I wasn't enough, and I was trying hard. All throughout then, I turned to what I knew would work, and that was me and my effort. So I tried harder, I worked harder, and I thought that if I did those things, they would stay. If I had a perfect body, they wouldn't find another girl. I knew how to exercise, I knew how to do certain things, and I poured myself into that, because when I was pouring myself into the people that I did love, it wasn't an endless love that I guess I was searching for. So yeah, everywhere I turned was empty. So I had no idea that I was trying to control every other avenue of my life. I had a trip planned to Asia, and my mom was scared to death that I was going. I had no idea why. I got home and found myself in the hospital for severe dehydration, but the doctor looked at my mom and said, you know what's going on here. I got out of the hospital, and I researched, I Googled that I wanted to stop thinking about food. I wanted to stop thinking about how I could change my body, what more I could do. I was adamant that I didn't have an eating disorder, but I went to the clinic anyways because I had a plan, and I was gonna go just for counseling when it fit into my schedule, of course. And I showed up this summer, and an hour and a half later, I left with a diagnosis of anorexia for the last 6 years. So I left, and I called my mom, and all I remember saying was, I don't want to go, but I know I have to. So for the next 2 days, I've never felt closer to Jesus than when I couldn't move on my own. And when I showed up with my bags packed, I was gonna sign up for 3 weeks because they said it was a 3 to 12 week program and I'd give them the minimal amount and get out. Turns out you don't get to choose that. I just remember writing every morning, I don't want to be here. I don't want this to be my story. And I didn't for a long time. But Jesus has shown me that I get to do this with him. And so he got me every step of the way. And I'm not sure why that this was the path where I had to figure it out, but I know that the seeking of the identity and the acceptance and the worth that I put in my agenda and my plans, it's only found in him now. And every day, sometimes, it creeps back in, and I have to shut it down. I have to give it back to him. I have to remind myself that it's his plan and not mine. So when I give up the control and I trust him, I know his love is real, and I know that his love is something that I never have to earn. And that means I never can lose it either.